Alright everybody, this is Small Town Magic here, and what I'm showing off tonight is a budget Magic Arena deck, kind of. It's got 14 rares, 15 with one more on the sideboard. Those ones actually in the starter deck, and then one Mythic of Ral. But the nice thing with this is the rares are paths to like cards you would win anyway, especially if you're looking at being a control player. So biggest thing about this deck is it has 0 creatures in the main deck. Not a single one. We're actually looking at just controlling the game and finishing with an inescapable plays. So I found this on a 5.0 deck list printed on the 15th of October. And the Remy 711 is the person who put up the original 5.0. So I didn't change much, but we'll be giving this a playthrough and seeing how things go. So we'll just get queued up here. Just while we're waiting for the match to start, so the things that I like about this deck is that honestly its control matchups are probably pretty great. You're going to nickel and dime them with the burn that doesn't really have another target. You have a lot of main deck counter spells, and then you're going to get them low enough that the inescapable blazes will just pretty quickly close out the game. What I'm afraid of is 1, Carnage Tyrant. And 2, I think like Green Stompy is probably a pretty abysmal matchup. Because you have to like weirdly board in. I'm pretty sure the plan is to like weirdly board in a bunch of counters and try to fight them that way. But your removal doesn't match up well against their creatures, and there's a lot of room for things to go wrong. So we're playing against another Izzet deck. And they landed as Contra right away, which could possibly make this game slightly difficult. So we're actually just gonna lightning strike face the end step. Hope we hit our land drops. But I mean, our goal is to just nickel and dime damage against another control deck. Is to nickel and dime damage where you can get it, and then get him to 12 and inescapable plays, untap inescapable plays. So we didn't get that second land that we really need, or the 4th land that we really needed. At least they don't have any draw. So sending away another Escanta. I'm tempted to blink this, but I don't have anything to do with the free turn. Even if they did, if they countered it to keep the Escanta in play, I don't have anything to do afterwards. And considering that they've only bottomed one thing, they're using it to hit their land drops, they're using it to get rid of, build up a handful of counters. That's unfortunate. There's an upside of the spell. It lets you do that little annoying play. So we can pretty safely discard Fiery Cannonade at this point. Guess Beacon Bolt's probably the next thing to go when we're at max hand size. Opponent's up to a full hand. We're going to keep an eye on when this is going to flip, but right now I'm not terribly concerned. See if they have more copies of Chemistry's Insight copy. They're still missing land drops. So there's our first inescapable ways. We really need to find some shocks and you know, various little things. So they're at 5, so that's still not flipping yet. So we're going to discard Beacon Bolts, or I mean, this is a little too tasty to not do. I mean, the alternative is to bounce this. But since this isn't putting the card in the graveyard, don't have to worry about the search flipping yet. Discard the Beacon Bolt. We need to keep hitting land drops. So we found the inescapable ways. Now we just need to find the stuff to get it out of our opponent's hand. They very likely have a handful of counter spells, but we found the 2 inescapable ways. Now we just have to get them down to 12. But we got this back to their hands, so now we have to. We're gonna fight over it. It's probably not a great fight considering how their mana is lining up right now. But they're actually not going to go for it. So we're going to toss the Fight with Fire. The longer this goes, the better it gets for us, because we have inescapable blazes. We'll eventually find as many as we need to end the game. Like I said, I think the control matchup for this deck is rather reasonable, because like we even get to get rid of this stuff for more counter spells, and so we're just burning counters. Like we just get to play classic Drawgo magic, and you know, never really have to tap out. We'll have a Nezahal we bring in. There's not much more than that. Like I mean, counters a Nezahal. We have the Rouserac. I don't even know if we bring it in. We may be bringing in Electromancers too. Like, there are Electromancers on the board, and I'm not exactly sure what to do with them. So I'm looking to resolve and ionize. That's all I care about doing right now. Okay. So the game's over. It is worth noting that there are some versions of these decks that have started playing the gain 4 life draw card. So we're going to respect it a little bit. Just to see if we can get them into a counter spell or a counter where they have to tap out. Or they just do this. So that's the plan. I mean, that's our plan against control, is double inescapable blaze. Like, we play the game normally, and go from there. So yeah, we're just going to go heavy counters with a Nezahal. I don't even know if I want the RAL. I mean, we can play just a very instant speed game. So we have one more card to cut. So we have to cut one card that matters. I think it can probably actually be a Syncopate. It could be a Syncopate or a Shock. Let's just go with this Shock, have all the counters in the world, and just try to play a very specific game. Yeah. So yeah, against the control mirror, I think we don't get worse post board. Like we have we get rid of our dead cards. We have more things to do, and I already think that our control is like we're a control deck that beats up on control decks, because our win conditions are uncounterable. Like, we don't have Banefires because we want to play as instant speed, but this is an awkward card, but in a way where you're trying to play a little more budget friendly and get things that you can get through drafts or get through the starter decks and whatnot. Like, Inescapable Blaze is a good way to go. This deck's like I said, it's based off of a 5-0 Moto result, and I've had mixed results playing. As I said, I played 2 test matches. One of them was me beating up tokens, and one of them me was getting stomped by Stompy. And I thought the Stompy was going to be bad before I played against it, but man, was it bad. So I'm going to go for a Chemist's Insight. They can copy it. That's fine. I still just need to play my game. So there's Nezahal, so we have a long-term plan. Get the double red out, I guess. We're kind of on embarrassment of riches as far as everything goes for everything else. So our options are kind of Stroke or Syncopate. We can also just drop the first Inescapable Blades, but I don't think we're quite there. So I think we're going to cut... We're going to drop a Stroke. And yeah, we can't fire off an Inescapable Blaze on Instadapt yet. But yeah, we're just going to get rid of a Stroke for now. And so we're actually not going to flash back the Chemist's Insight either. Yet. Because there's nothing we want to get rid of. Once again, we're kind of an embarrassment of riches. We're going to fire off the Inescapable Blaze to build a spot in our hand if our opponent continues to do nothing. We somewhat fear against Izzet right now, but they're still not where they can cast it. They need a blue mana. So now we might actually fire off an Insight when we get to end step. So do they have Niv? They do not. So I'm willing to fire this off and drop a Sinister Sabotage. So I think we're going to be discarding 2 Chemisters Insights. We can almost just like at this point consider dropping them as all, but I mean these have value not being in our hand. So we're just going to run this back. I think we're fine turning the shock into 2 cards. We are falling behind on land drops, but we're at a pretty comfortable spot. You know, we find an inescapable plays, we win. Make sure we're actually at the end of the turn. Like, I can try to build up 2 damage, 2 damage, 2 damage, but we have plenty of red spells and yeah. We'll send this one face, I guess, and then discard another Chemister's Insight. After that, we'll look at trying to just win through incidental damage. So we have a Lyra. We'll stroke it and then ionize it. Secondly, like if one of their counters was them trying to copy a counter, that's why I like this Disdainful Stroke, because you can't copy it like you can the other stuff. So yeah, here's 2 of our damage. So discarding the shock feels bad now, but luckily we have plenty of damage to go around. So that's the first round. Tune in for the rest. Well, we have to play up to 5 wins. Otherwise, continue watching.